That's right, girl.
This is the introduction.
I need to blow my nose.
Fuck.
We're both really sick, guys.
Very,
Welcome back to the Old Male Lesbians.
Very ill. We're fucked up. You'll be seeing this fucked up face for the next 2 episodes. Well, not the
3.
coming. Yeah, this one. And whenever we schedule the others.
Basically, if we're wearing the same clothes, then we recorded all of it on the same day. And if you see us coughing, gagging, blowing our nose, sneezing.
Anyway. So today's episode is a very hot topic that we've noticed been discussed in the community. Is it biphobic to be les4les?
Yeah. I never given it much thought, actually.
Yeah, actually me neither until I started seeing the discourse. Okay, so the reason why there's this discourse in the first place is because like there's always like, okay, I think a common couple is trans for trans. And then there's also a lot of bi for bi couples. And then it became a discourse when people start saying they're les4les because then it's taken as it being biphobic. So we're here to share our thoughts on whether we think it's biphobic.
But we're also partially not, our brains are not functioning as great today because we're sick. So we'll share whatever thoughts that we have.
Yeah. So the argument with like, for example, if you are trans for trans and bi for bi, is that you want someone with the same lived experiences as you. Because of course, like even though, yeah, we're all part of the community, like I don't think I can completely relate to a gay person. Like a gay man, for example.
Yeah.
And
correct.
I most definitely cannot relate to a trans person.
Yeah.
You know? So so that's why there's like the whole thing behind like dating someone who is like in the same group as you, because then you can like understand each other more and you can like empathize with each other more and like overall sorry. What the heck? Overall feel more supported in thanks. Overall feel more supported in
Oh, I can smell the banh mi.
overall feel more supported in like your relationship lah. And then of course the same thing like being bi for bi is the same thing too. But then yeah, there's been a lot of discourse about how les4les is biphobic. And okay, I mean to be honest, I've only dated like one bi person. The rest of my exes are all lesbians. You know, and it's not even by choice actually. I think it just happens. And I think a part of it is also like we're able to relate more. I wouldn't say like I am, how to say, it's very hard to say like, oh, I'm les4les. Because I never know what if like I end up dating a bi person.
Correct.
Right, like that kind of stuff lah. I also feel like it's not biphobic to be les4les because like, and obviously I'm, whatever like you want to cancel me or whatever, right? I don't think it's biphobic to be les4les because I feel like a huge part of the argument to be les4les is that you completely do not, like you really want to decenter men. And sometimes like that doesn't happen all the time when you are in a relationship with someone who's bisexual, obviously. And this is nothing to do with like biphobia or like leaving for men or whatever. But it's more like, of course, like as a bi person, like your experiences will be involving a man or vice versa and all that. So it's like sometimes like you may not have the same shared experiences. And let's say if I have been a lesbian who is solely dated women, and I'm with a bi person who solely dated men, our experiences are so different.
Yeah,
And
that's
it'll be
true.
so hard to relate to each other on so many things.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. For me also, it's like I won't intentionally go out of my way and be like, oh, like if let's say I catch feelings for somebody and I find out they're bi, I'm not gonna immediately be like, no.
Yeah.
It's more like it's more like if I just catch feelings for that person, if they happen to be bi, then okay lah. But again, like you said, like I also don't think it's biphobic to be les4les. Because I think at the end of the day, it's really just your preference on what you want to deal with when it comes to your relationship. Like if let's say for my relationship, I don't want to deal with like okay. So I had this friend, right? She said that like, cause she's a lesbian and she was dating this bi girl, and this bi girl said that like every now and then, like if we do become official and if we become long-term partners, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's an itch that I need to scratch, which is I occasionally need dick. And my friend was not okay with that. She was like, oh, I'm not really fine with that. So it's just like things that you want to allow or don't allow in your relationship, things that you want to deal with and you don't want to deal with in your relationship. I think it's mainly just that. In fact, I think people calling it biphobic is just people being lesbophobic. Gonna get cancelled for this. But you know what?
You know what? Actually, no, and actually, there's this couple who's bi for bi that I saw on like my story, not my story, the reels, the FYP lah. Basically, they were sharing about how they love being bi for bi because they both, during ovulation period, they both feel like they're besties. And they feel like they can understand each other because like during the ovulation period, ovulation is like biologically centered around men. So that's why like they both feel feral for like men like during that period. But of course they don't go out to cheat lah. They just like feel that way during ovulation. So they say yeah, during ovulation they feel like straight besties with each other. So that's why the bi for bi thing works for them. Like in instances like this, just trying to share an example. But imagine if you are with somebody who's a lesbian.
Yeah.
I think I'll cry if my partner said that to me. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, maybe they don't intend on hurting you, like, as the bi person.
Yeah.
But it's like you as a lesbian are going to feel like, oh, but I can't meet that need.
Yeah.
I can't be that person for them. It's going to make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like, oh, but that's just your insecurities. It's just your But that's a fact, like, some people do feel like that. And if you're in that position and the person that you really love, feels that way during ovulation, you're going to always want to do whatever you can to meet your partner's needs. But if that is not something that you can do, that is going to affect the way that you feel.
Yeah.
It's not about whether you're secure or insecure. That's just the way people are going to feel.
Yeah, actually, that's yeah, I think the argument has always been about like feeling secure and feeling insecure. But also, what's wrong with wanting to feel secure? Like of course, like as you said, like you cannot be always like dealing with things that you don't want.
Yeah,
like for example, your friend in that situation, like you don't want to be dealing with that kind of stuff. It's fair.
Yeah.
And I think like this applies for if I'm dating a lesbian too. If I'm dating a lesbian who like is friends with all the exes and it makes me feel insecure, I can just not want to deal with that.
Yeah, correct. Actually, it's just whether you want to deal with it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What are the other arguments?
So the other arguments is that les4les is biphobic because lesbians think that bisexuals will leave them for men. That's why it's but then they say like there's not much arguments with like if you're trans for trans and bi for bi, like it's very clear cut. But sometimes I think like sometimes things are lesbophobic.
But to be honest, right? Okay, like this is just my personal opinion, but sometimes it does happen though. Bisexuals will leave you for a man because to a certain extent it is easier. Like it's just more socially acceptable, like with marriage, with like family and all of that. So it does happen.
Yeah, it does happen, and I think as a community we need to move past the fact that saying that is biphobic because it's not. And I think especially in Malaysia, this thing happens a lot more common than you think. In my dating experience, not just mine, like my other friend who's bisexual also experienced the same thing from like people who I think this is also like the whole point about like when you're not queer as a person, your sexuality is just a sexuality, it's not about your queerness. And like there's the whole thing about like, oh, it's like can I handle being with this person forever? And then my family and my friends all will see me a certain way. And I think especially like in conservative countries also like when this happens, it's just something that happens lah.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to like not want to deal with that.
Yeah. The thing is that correct lor. In conservative countries, I think this is more like prominent. It's a lot more prominent because there's a lot more like how to say it's a lot more strict and more reserved with countries with more conservative communities.
Yeah.
So people do leave. Bisexuals do leave lesbians for men.
Yeah, exactly. And also we are saying this both as people who will not just stop liking someone because they're bisexual.
Yeah, correct.
It's like there are so many bisexuals that we know who like will not obviously do that.
Yeah.
But it's like if they do that, it's fair to leave. Like I feel like sometimes we should just break it down to simple terms. You tell me you want to leave me for someone else, of course I'm going to leave you.
Yeah.
It same goes, for other sexualities. You tell me you want to go back to your ex, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like, why is it not okay for us to be like, oh, yeah, we don't want to deal with that, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And if it's something that, okay, also like, it's also bad decision making on a person's part if somebody has already told you like, hey, I don't see forever with you. Eventually, I will be married to a man and everything, and you don't leave.
Yeah.
Like, that's just poor
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
decision-making.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do in that situation, right?
Yeah. So that's why, yeah. But yeah, anyway.
I think a lot of people are more like angry about like the assumption that people have towards bi women that they are gonna leave the
Yeah.
lesbian for a man.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, is that an unfair assumption to make? You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure that not every bi woman operates like this, I'm very sure. But at the same time, there is always a risk lah.
Yeah, exactly.
There is always a risk. And this kind of thing, I feel like is quite serious. Because people can get traumatized from it.
Dude, and I feel like the trauma is just not talked about enough. Like,
I also think it's not talked about enough because of ego.
yeah, ego.
Because it's like, I got hurt because she left me for a man. Like,
Yeah.
lesbians are not going to talk about that. Lesbians are always like so egoistic when it comes to straight men. Like,
Yeah, honestly. You know, okay, unrelated, but let me tell you something. Like, so you know, like, if like I'm gay and everything,
Yeah.
and I said yes.
yeah.
So he asked me about like my most recent relationship, why did it
Yeah.
end and everything. And then I was like, because she cheated on me.
Mm.
And then he was like, what, she left you for a man? Like, his assumption immediately is that, so you see, even straight men think that. Like, it's just like, I don't know how to say, it's just like a thing where like, people just assume that, oh, like, yeah, women are going to leave you for men. Okay, the reason why I'm saying this is because when you live in a country where this kind of thing is so common, that people just expect it. So
Yeah.
when people want to be like cautious of their dating life and everything, and to be honest, right, I don't think like lesbians locally dismiss someone just because they're bisexual. In fact, I think a lot of lesbians go for bisexuals.
Yeah. That's not true. We see that a lot, actually.
I don't know any lesbian who is les4les, by the way. Like, I don't know somebody,
Yeah.
anyone who's openly not even just openly, or like really they are very strict like les4les.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I don't know like anyone who's like that. But again, if you know that there's going to be like, if you know somebody intends to do that to you, yeah, just leave lah.
Huh. It's so interesting how we don't know anyone who's les4les.
Wait, actually I know someone who,
Oh, really?
yeah, they said so. Remember? There's one time we were saying,
Oh, is it because their ex was bi?
I don't know, I don't think the ex was bi, the ex was lesbian.
Oh, I
But
did.
they were telling us that time like, yeah, if they're not lesbian, I wouldn't go for it. Like, there's this one time. they
Oh.
told us, yeah.
Oh, I didn't remember that at all. Did they say why?
They didn't say why. They just said, yeah.
No, that's interesting,
Yeah.
actually.
We only know one person who's les4les.
But then again, I feel like it's because we don't really know much people who's les4les, so we don't know the extent to which it can go to.
Yeah, I
So it's
think
difficult to say also.
I only see this les4les thing on internet. Like, in real life, I don't know anyone except that one person who's les4les. Actually, there's been a lot of bi for les for bi.
Yeah,
I've
nobody here
seen.
really cares.
Yeah.
Nobody here cares. Everybody here is just like, oh, if I like this person, I like this person lah. And apparently this extends to straight women too.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not les for straight though. Just saying.
Speak for yourself. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh my god, 14 minutes.
Homo for hetero.
Homo for hetero.
Homo for hetero. Yeah.
Apparently a lot of straight people watch our podcast.
Really?
Yeah,
What do you guys
apparently.
think about this topic? And what do you think as a straight person, straight for bi? I think that would be interesting.
I feel like straight men love bi women.
They do.
Because first of all, threesome. Second of
Yeah.
all, it's like some of them. Okay, so I saw this thread recently about this dude who was like, "Oh, it's the most like, it's the biggest compliment for a bi woman to choose you as a man because they could
Yeah.
have chosen any other woman, and women are all like pretty and they smell good and they're good looking and they're like this and they're like that. So if a bi woman chooses you as a man, that's the biggest compliment ever.
yeah.
But then some lesbians were in the thread commenting and they were like, well, lesbians don't want to date bi women anyway, so like there's nothing to boast about. I was just like,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah, but you know the guy who told me that, he also told me, he said like, I just assume all girls are bi.
Oh,
And it's apparently a very common thing with men.
oh,
Men just assume all women are bi.
why?
Because women are more experimental. And I was just like,
No, I think women are just a lot more accepting of their own sexuality.
Yeah,
And a lot
exactly.
more. They're not as icked by homosexuality the way men are.
yeah.
It doesn't threaten, because for men it threatens their masculinity, right? For women it's just like, oh, whatever lah. So women are a lot more open to it, or they don't see it as like something that fucks with their identity or threatens their identity, you know, or threatens their confidence. They don't see it as that.
Yeah. But I also really think it's the whole like threesome thing.
Yeah, it is a lot.
They're
of it has
just
to do with
always like
something.
into that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't handle one woman. You want to handle two women? Are you kidding me,
I
bro?
know, you can't even get one. Like,
Bro.
just
In fact, the other woman who's joining you as a threesome is going to steal your girlfriend, please.
real.
Guys,
Real, actually
Y'all.
real.
calm down, calm down. But then with straight women dating bi men, I think straight women are also quite okay with dating bi men.
Yeah.
Because
Straight women are more okay with dating bi men than... No, actually, yeah, straight women are okay with
they're
dating bi men.
equally okay, because like with straight men dating bi women, it's like, okay, threesome and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
With straight women dating bi men, it's like, oh, they get to like thirst over dudes together, or like the dude understands them, or like they're closer to being their gay bestie, or like at least they smell good, or they're cleaner and all of that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of straight women think that bi men are also like, they are not like, how to say? They're not like your typical like cis straight man.
Yeah.
And so they behave like a lot more differently.
I think they think that bi men have a lot more feminine energy than,
Yeah.
and it's refreshing, I guess.
Yeah.
So it could be that. But yeah, I think that's about it lah. I think straight people don't really have an issue, I think.
Yeah.
Because even when straight men date like bi women, and like your case lah, your first ex lah, like your ex was like dating you, and then your ex's boyfriend didn't think it was anything serious because it's just another girl. Like they don't find you threatening.
And he was right. I wasn't a threat. He was right. Yeah. The other argument about like this whole like les4les bi for bi thing is that apparently like if you are... Okay, this one I don't know to what extent this is important, and I feel like it's more in the discourse that I noticed, but like if you are not if you are les4les, you understand lesbian history better. But for me, I see it as sapphic history. I don't see it as lesbian history. Because I think history, like you know the stuff we read online, like you know about the past and like movements, all this, is really more of a sapphic thing rather than a lesbian thing. So that's why like this is an argument that I will agree I don't understand. Because like I don't think there's a separate like bi women history and like lesbian women history.
That's true.
It's more of like everyone's a sapphic and like everyone is part of the movement, and yeah. I guess it's different if it's Willower and MLM. But like, yeah, I feel like this one is a bit strange lah, this argument. But everything else is valid.
Undisassociating.
I know. This is maybe our shortest episode ever.
Yeah, because honestly, we're just like not. Our brain is just right now. I think on a
we've
normal...
said everything we said.
Yeah, but I think on a normal basis, we'll yap a lot more lah, let's be real.
Yeah. I think we can talk about our experience being les4les. Because you were les4les for 2 of it, not me?
No, but then the first time I was dating that redacted, we both identified as bisexual.
So you guys were bi for bi, and then now you both are lesbians.
Yeah. We both
Okay.
just liked each other. So like, I think back then I didn't care enough. I was just like, oh, I like this person lah. Then we got together, and it's like we both thought we were bi, but then after we broke up, we both kind of were like, nah, I don't think we're bi. And then the other one, the other redacted, they said that they were bisexual, but they were like, oh, 1% I like guys, 99% I like women. And then I would talk to one of their like close guy friends, and then the close guy friend would say like, oh yeah, I've never seen this person look at any man at all. And I was just like, okay, this person probably has just internalized lesbophobia. So like I kept saying to them, I was like, no lah, you're lesbian lah. They're like, I don't know, maybe I'm bi. I'm like, you sure about that? But I was like, okay lah, whatever. Honestly, I'm gonna I know it's not my position to comment on somebody else's sexual orientation, right? But they are a lesbian. I'm a lesbian. I didn't choose them based off of their sexual orientation. I chose them based off of my insecurities. So that's a different
What?
thing. Yeah. That's a different thing altogether. It's not because of their sexual orientation. But yeah, I think a lot of lesbians that I know, they really don't choose other partners based off of whether they're bi or what. They just
Yeah,
like, oh,
actually, it's true.
really, they
Yeah.
like the person, they like the person. It's only like later on when they get to know each other and they see like there are certain issues that come up that they're like, I don't think I can handle this like long term, then only they break it off. It's not so much that like because you're bi, it's because you as this person, doesn't matter your sexual orientation, want to do this, I am not okay with it. Like let's say for example, right, the example that I gave you just now, my friend who's a lesbian, like this bi girl and said, oh, I have this itch that I occasionally need to scratch, which is I need dick. Imagine if your lesbian partner also said that to you, oh, I have this itch that I need to scratch, I need to go out and fuck other women. Like I need other people's pussy. Of course, like if you're monogamous, you won't be okay with it, one ma. So I feel like it's technically the same thing. I think that was the issue. Not so much that she needed dick, not so much that it was because she was bisexual. It's because she wanted to go out and
Yeah.
scratch an itch, right? So, yeah, I think it's just mainly that. There's no... I don't think here in Malaysia, at least with the people that we're around and with the people that we know, there's a lot of les4les, and I don't think there's a lot of biphobia in this country, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of biphobia. At least I have not seen.
I have not seen either, but then we're still going to get cancelled for this because, yeah.
In our circle, in our vicinity, because I feel like people are a lot more open here in that aspect. Like, we are not... Okay, because to be honest, right, the pool is already so fucking small. You think we have the chance to be picky?
Yeah.
We cannot be picky. So, like, it's just like whoever we like. Pool's already so small.
Yeah, and also like, you know, like the thing you said, I think is so true. Like, I think in terms of issues sometimes, right, you will see the same types of issues arising for lesbians also. And like, if those issues arise, you should also just leave.
Yeah.
Like, because like, okay, for example, for my experience, I have dated more bi women than I've dated lesbians actually. But my relationships, majority of them has been lesbians. It's only one person who's bi. And like, but the thing is, like, even with a lesbian and a bi woman, I've encountered the same issues, which is a third party. And it just didn't work out for the same reasons. Like, both just missed their ex and wanted to go back to their ex. So I feel like that is just like a universal, like, regardless of whoever issue. But I also feel the same as you. I don't really like, oh, if someone told me that they're bi, I would stop liking them. And in fact, like, yeah, as I said, I've been with more bi women than I've been with lesbians. It's just that so happened I didn't get into a relationship with them.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
a lot of factors lah. It's not just about like the fact that they are not lesbians. It's just like by chance kind of thing. Do I find that I relate to lesbians more? Yes and no. I think yes, you can relate to a lesbian a lot more in terms of a lot of like lived experiences. But at the same time, because like I have dated men in the past as well, so I can to a certain extent relate to bi women. And I think, in fact, I had probably more ex-boyfriends than them. So it's like, I can meet them there in that sense, like in terms of their experiences with dating men. I think the only difference that I cannot relate with them is that I actively choose not to care about men anymore. But they can't, because like they are like bisexual.
Yeah.
So it's like, in a way, like men are still always going to be in their lives.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I think for lesbians, like the difference is that you can completely decenter men.
Yeah.
And not just, by the way, dating them, the ones in your family too.
Yes.
Just decenter all of them.
Yeah.
Not give a fuck.
I think with women who experience attraction to men, it's a lot more... They tend to make more excuses for men. They tend to be more understanding towards men.
Yeah.
I think that's one... Like, for me as a lesbian, I refuse to empathize with that. Because to me, it's like, you know, they won't do the same for you, number one. Secondly is that we all know it's... What is it called? Weaponized incompetency. We all know it's weaponized incompetency. At the end of the day, we're all adults, just grow up, right? But they tend to make more excuses for men. And to me, it's like, I don't care if you're a man, I don't care if you're a woman, right? To be honest, for me, you're a man or you're a woman, I would not make excuses for you. So I'm just like, everyone just fucking grow up lah. You know?
Yeah, I also 100% agree with that. I feel like because I do not give a fuck about men, and I also do not feel the need to empathize with them. And I think a huge part of it is because I don't experience attraction to them.
Yeah.
And in a way, it just makes me be able to like detach more from them. But I think if you are attracted to a man, you will start thinking in the angles of like, what if he's my husband? What if he's my son? What if he's my boyfriend? What if he's my brother? Like all these kind of things. Like I think that's when like the empathy thing kicks in. But for me, I'm just like, my dream world is an opinion that's too woke.
The world is not ready to hear it.
They're not.
I'm not ready to hear it. I don't think we're biphobic for this though.
No, I don't think so. Because I'm on your side too, babe. Like if you argue with your boyfriend.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I can do better than your boyfriend. Come here. Like,
Yeah, so
you kidding me? We're not biphobic.
yeah. Is that the end of the episode?
That's definitely the end of the episode. I have
Okay.
like, I'm out. I need to go cough and blow
Let
my
us know
nose.
your opinions. Is it biphobic to be less for less?
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the episode. Please remember to buy us coffee. How much was your doctor's bill?
70 ringgit.
Yeah, mine was 71 ringgit.
Oh, wow.
Mine was 71
That's
ringgit.
crazy.
Yeah, quite accurate. But then you look like you have more medication than I did. How many packs you got?
I got one cough syrup, one Panadol, one flu for sleeping, one in antihistamines, one Diflum thing.
Oh, that's a
And then
lot.
got one more. I forgot what is it already.
So I have my own antihistamines and my own Panadol. So everything else that you have, I also have, like from the
Oh.
doctor. 71 ringgit. Please buy us coffee so we can pay our doctor's bill. Anyway, see you on the next
Bye.
one. Bye
Thanks for
bye.
streaming. Bye.